I've recently found myself exploring more loadout options to use in PvP, because for the longest time I was a slave to the hand cannon shotgun meta. And ever since the change to 120 hand cannons and aggressive frame shotguns, I really wanted to challenge myself and try to find some loadouts that I could be successful with that didn't involve a hand cannon or an aggressive frame shotgun. And I guess I could say I found a loadout I really like. Roll the Mini-tage. The loadout we'll be going over today is the Chroma Rush Kinetic auto rifle and the exotic shotgun Duality. We're going to go over each of these weapons to talk about how you can effectively utilize them and what kinds of playstyles may benefit the most from using them. Timestamps are available for each individual section. Let's start by talking about the Chroma Rush. Chroma Rush is a 720 RPM rapid frame kinetic auto rifle that will do 20 to the head and 13 to the body. It has an optimal time to kill of 0.77 seconds and a body shot time to kill of 1.17 seconds. Excluding Sweet Business at its maximum fire rate, Chroma Rush has the fastest optimal time to kill out of any auto rifle in the game. Pair that with the highest base aim assist and stability of any legendary auto in the game as well, and you're looking at one of the most statistically superior autos in the game. There's actually a lot of stats that this weapon has that make it one of a kind. One of those things is its base recoil direction of 45. Now you might be thinking, well, 45 doesn't seem very good. Recoil direction values in Destiny are used to determine where the direction of a gun's recoil will be moving when you're shooting the gun. For instance, a gun that has a recoil direction that ends in a value of 5 will have a perfectly vertical recoil direction, which means if you put a counterbalance mod on it, which adds plus 15 recoil direction, the new value would be at 60, which makes it severely recoil to the right. So you're actually better off not using a counterbalance mod when using Chroma Rush. Another thing to keep in mind with regards to recoil direction and Chroma Rush is its possible barrel perks. It is capable of rolling with arrowhead break, chambered compensator, and extended barrel, all of which provide a recoil direction buff. Arrowhead break gives a massive plus 30 to recoil direction, and both chambered and extended offer a plus 10 to recoil direction. This means that no matter what, the final value of Chroma's recoil direction will still end in a 5, which is what we want. However, this weapon's recoil is actually very easy to manage even at its base value of 45. And that's as someone who plays on a controller. In the first column, you got quite a bit of freedom, but my preferences are corkscrew rifling, extended barrel, hammer forged rifling, and small bore. The commonality here is increasing our range without compromising other stats on this weapon. Full bore is nice for the plus 13 range, but it really hurts the stability and handling, which are two of the more important stats of this weapon, especially when pairing it with a shotgun or a sniper. If I had to pick just one though, I'd probably go with small bore. In the magazine column, there's really only one that stands above the rest, and that's accurized rounds. However, tactical mag and flared magwell are fine options if you have the option of full bore in the barrel slot to kind of offset each other. If you play on M&K, let's be real, you'll probably be okay rocking full bore and accurized. Now for the third column, this is where you can get a little creative because not only are there 6 total options, making finding the role that you like easier, but the perks within this column are actually quite useful. There are 4 that I recommend looking for depending on your playstyle: heating up, moving target, tunnel vision, and dynamic sway reduction. Each of these provide different benefits, obviously, so choose which one you feel your weapon may need a little boost in. Heating up will make it so your accuracy, stability, and even recoil improve whenever you get kills with the weapon. Dynamic sway reduction greatly reduces inaccuracy after firing for 1 second and adds 9 stability over time while you're still firing. And with a 51 mag auto that takes a minimum of 10 shots to kill, DSR is a really good perk for this weapon. Tunnel vision increases target acquisition by 20, accuracy by 20%, and increased ADS speed when you reload after getting a kill. These benefits last for 5 seconds once reloaded. Finally, moving target makes it so we move faster while aiming down sight and gives a flat buff of 10 aim assist just for being on the weapon. In my opinion, Feeding Frenzy and Subsistence are decent enough perks, but they're probably better off being utilized in PvE, and they just don't quite match up to the other 4 perks. In the final perk column, we've really only got one perk that should be on our mind, and that's Kill Clip, which gives us a 33% increase in crit damage and a 30% increase in body shot damage when we reload after a kill. One of my favorite perk combos for this gun are Tunnel Vision and Kill Clip. You've got 2 perks that synergize with one another after reloading to create an absolute shredding machine that ends up doing 27 to the head and 14 to the body, which turns its 0.77 time to kill into a 0.6 time to kill. I'm telling you, this thing absolutely deletes people with Kill Clip. Regarding the masterwork, I would say try to shoot for range since this weapon needs all it can take. However, handling and stability are fine options as well. With all of that said, my personal god roll is small bore, accurized rounds, tunnel vision, and kill clip with a range masterwork. Let's move over to Duality. Duality is a one-of-a-kind shotgun that can take the form of both a pellet spread shotgun and a slug shotgun. Whenever you hip fire Duality, it will fire pellets, and whenever you aim down sights with it, it will fire slugs. This makes it an extremely versatile option for any close range engagements. Another one of its traits is that anytime you get pellet final blows, you'll get stacking precision damage and a reload speed buff. Precision hits with the slug version will extend the duration of those benefits. With the masterwork completed, Duality ends up with a range of 96, a handling stat of 82, and a mag size of 8, making it one of the best shotguns currently in the game. Another thing that makes Duality incredibly lethal is the number of pellets that are needed to hit a target in order to kill them. As it is, the pellet version of Duality requires 10 pellets to connect with a target in order to kill them, which is second to none other than the aggressive frame shotguns, which only require 9 pellets. However, with damage increasing perks like High Energy Fire, Empowering Rifts, Frontal Assault, or Sun Warrior, that bumps the number of pellets down to 9, which is equal to the aggressives. So with aggressive frame shotguns getting toned down recently, and with the pellet spread increase when sliding coming in Season 15, the slug version of Duality could end up being a popular option in PvP. Now, I would be remiss to not mention that yes, Chaperone definitely has more potential to create further lethality ranges due to its stats and Roadborne being active. Duality won't be able to match that output. However, I do think the versatility of having those 2 different firing modes is really going to attract a lot of people. I was initially very skeptical to switch away from my aggressive frames and my retold tail because I knew that the whole point of Duality is to use both the pellet and the slug version of the gun. But after a few games of some intentional use, I quickly fell in love with how it matched my playstyle. I highly recommend giving it a try, especially with the change to pellet spread when sliding. If you've enjoyed the video so far, I would really appreciate you liking the video. It lets me know what types of videos you guys like to watch, and it also helps with the YouTube algorithm. So thanks to those of you who continue to show your support. Now for the build. The great thing about this loadout is that I tried it on Hunter, Warlock, and Titan, and it felt largely the same on all 3 classes. I'll go over my build and mods for each class, starting with Hunter. For my Hunter build, I'm prioritizing a couple things. First, I want maximum recovery, plain and simple. Next, I'm rocking either 80 or 90 mobility depending on what I want my resilience to be. If I'm in a lobby with some Thorn users, I'm throwing my resilience up to tier 6 and knocking my mobility down to tier 8. Otherwise, I'll usually stick with tier 5 resilience. I like to have my Hunter's abilities to have roughly the same tier, though if I were to be a little pickier with my build, I'd maybe take off 1 or 2 tiers from strength and throw it into my intellect. If you saw my last video, I talked about some reasons why certain tiers of abilities really only need to be a specific tier, otherwise you'll end up with diminishing returns on your build. My subclass is Revenant with the Shatter Dive and Touch of Winter aspect, along with my fragments Whisper of Fissures, Whisper of Chains, and Whisper of Shards. My exotic is Mask of Bakris because I'm obsessed with it. As far as mods go, I like to run both auto rifle and shotgun targeting mods on my helmet for the increase in ADS speed for the Duality and to help bend those bolts just a little bit more to my targets. On my gauntlets, I like to run an auto rifle reloader just so we can get that kill clip to proc as quick as possible, and then a shotgun dexterity mod. On my chest piece, I'll run double unflinching auto rifle mods as well as Radiant Light for that plus 20 strength. My boots will have a shotgun scav, traction mod, though I'll definitely be switching to the holster mod sometime soon, and then powerful friends for that plus 20 mobility. Finally, I have a solar class item so that I can run double bomber mods to help me get a big chunk of my grenade energy back when I use my dodge ability. For my Warlock, I've been messing with both Chaos Reach and Bottom Tree Voidwalker. Regarding stats, I'm obviously going to be trying to play more into my abilities and my super, since they are much better than the hunters at the moment. Again, I'm rocking max recovery, but now that means I'll get a max cooldown on my class ability, which also means that I can get more grenade energy back since I'm using my rift a bunch. That's also why I'm speccing for a little bit lower discipline compared to my other abilities. My intellect will sit anywhere between tier 6 and tier 8 depending on what kind of subclass I'm working with, but typically I'll be around tier 7. So one reason why I'm prioritizing more resilience on my Warlock compared to my Hunter is because I'm significantly less mobile on my Warlock than on my Hunter. When I'm on my Hunter, I'm basically banking on the fact that my dodge can get me out of sticky situations and back to a place where I can recover my health. On Warlock, I don't have that luxury, so I'm making sure that not even Thorn can 2-head 1-body me with its damage over time, and tier 6 prevents that from happening. On my Warlock, the mods are basically the same, but since I'm running Ophidian aspects, I'm taking off the shotgun dexterity and applying the fastball mod, which lets me throw my grenade farther. I also have an auto rifle loading mod on there just because I only have 2 energy left on my armor piece, and auto rifle just happens to be worth 2. Not sure if it already stacks on top of Ophidian's already increased reload speed. You guys might have to let me know in the comments about that. Finally, for my Titan, I like to run bottom tree striker, but I'm really looking into starting to play more with bottom tree sunbreaker. As you can see, once more, I'm playing with max recovery and tier 7 resilience. Not only am I able to survive Thorn and its burn, but I'm also getting my barricade every 25 seconds, which in turn lets me use my barricade to either get my grenade or my melee back faster by using bomber or outreach mods. If I'm on striker, I actually like to use double outreach mods so that I can have frontal assault as often as I can. It all depends on what type of playstyle I'm going for though. Now I don't play on Titan a ton, but what I've ended up with in regards to ability tiers are tier 5 for discipline and intellect and tier 4 for strength. Ideally, I'd like each of these to be at like 1 or 2 tiers higher, especially with how low I'm running my mobility stat, but I just haven't gotten the playtime or loot to fully optimize my Titan yet. Dune Marchers are my exotic because they're Dune Marchers, and my mods are all the same except I'm now running shotgun dexterity again on my gauntlets for that faster ready speed on my duality. Let me know some of your favorite loadouts from this season down in the comments, or join the Discord and we can talk about it. Thanks for watching, and as always, we'll see ya.